An earth-shattering offering which needs little introduction, instantly recognized. It's one of the most important and coveted non-sport trading cards in the world. It is out in front representing the Pokemon brand more than any other single production. And as the world's #1 media brand, this is the card which best embodies that overall worldwide offering. When we look at the investment pieces and the investment aspects of trading cards, most often what we come to is the connection that they have to the brand or the Americana or the worldwide national appeal. It's the largeness of the brand which really is embodied by a single asset that makes it an investment piece. If there's any one card that embodies what is now coming up on $100 billion revenue, biggest media brand in the world in Pokemon, if there's any one card that embodies all that, it's this card right here. It's the first edition Holo Charizard. It's the iconic foundatory card upon which all others are measured. There's a reason why it's so coveted. And when we look at the population numbers of, there's over 2,500 of these have been graded, which, that's not very many. By PSA alone, there's been about 2,500 for the whole world to share. But of that 2,500, only 121 have graded to 10. It's staggering to think about the ratio. These were produced, 25 years ago. PSA was absolutely in business at that time, and so these could have been opened up right out of the pack and sent in for professional grading, and they were. And to that degree, that only 121 are awarded at the Gem Mint level. It's hard to imagine how many more will ever be graded that high. I think it's rational to assume that the population numbers are going to stay about where they're at right now from the PSA 10 level. To imagine that a world as broad and international as Pokemon only has 121 of these to share is staggering. And then when we consider that the far fewer than that population is ever made available to the public, we could be dealing with a situation where over the next few years we may only see a dozen or two of these PSA 10 surface for the whole world to share. So as trading cards as a whole continue to emerge as an investment piece, it's easy to see why cards of this magnitude are so hotly desired, why they're so intriguing to tangible asset investors. This card it checks boxes that few other cards check, and we couldn't be more excited to offer it here in this month's auction. Front and back, it's a beautifully preserved, very well conditioned example. Appears fully worthy of a lofty grade. Corners, surfaces are immaculate. I always encourage people to take a look at the high-res images on the website. Sometimes they can tell a bit more detail than even these videos. So from a technical condition perspective, I think you could stare at this card for hours and you're going to come back to the same conclusions, is that it's graded right. It's a packed fresh Gem Mint example, fully worthy of the lofty grade. From an investment perspective, you could also talk forever about how important this is. This is really on that bleeding edge of investment opportunity. It's largely transcended the game of Pokemon. It's largely transcended the hobby-esque atmosphere that is really at the foundation of it, and it's become what is now a tangible asset. It will compete with any other trading card, but it's also going to compete with fine art for that piece. And from a pervasiveness, the number of people who know what this card represents is probably 100 times more than what people might know about fine art. The demand for this market far exceeds anything else in any other tangible asset realm. And this is why everyone is so excited about trading cards and the future investment potential, is simply the demand is there. So delighted to feature this card. It's one of very few PSA 10s we've had access to in our 20-year tenure. We really encourage investors to take a close look. This is as good as it gets.